So, believe it or not, the 2024 campaign for president is already heating up. You know, of course, former President Donald Trump was among those that have formally announced a run for the White House. Joe Biden, the oldest person to ever occupy the Oval Office, is set, we are told, to unleash his sleeping through the election efforts. Or will it be Lost in the Basement Part 2? You decide. Well, either way, here we are on the trail to the White House. And honestly, right now, Joe is not getting much love out there. It seems even Democrats are leery about a guy old enough to be a great-grandfather running for another term. Well, that's strange because we haven't seen the media be this down about a Democrat president or candidate for president ever. But here's Chuck Todd, a Trump hater and someone who pretends to be a journalist while actually occupying the position of partisan hack, reporting on some of the most unfavorable numbers for Joe Biden. Listen.
53% of 2020 Biden voters say he shouldn't run. 64% of Democrats who voted for Sanders or Warren in the 2020 primaries think he shouldn't run. And 76% of voters under 35 think he shouldn't run. And what's the top concern for that? We asked voters. We didn't prompt them. We said, why don't you think he should run? Well, these were the responses. It almost is all about his age and his ability to do the job. Again, these are among Democratic primary voters.
Ouch, that hurts. But it wasn't just that. Todd had Senator Dick Durbin on his program as well. Here's what he asked him, and listen to this response.
They believe he hasn't done enough to reassure Americans that he's up to the job. They note this. His standard line is, the only thing I can say is watch me, about the ability to be president and serve a second term in his 80s. But Mr. Biden, the Times writes, has given voters very few chances to do just that, to, quote, watch him. And his refusal to engage with the public regularly raises questions about his age and health. Again, this comes from the New York Times, not some right-wing blog about this. Should President Biden be doing more to show Americans that he's up to the job?
I think his schedule reflects an active person, mentally and physically, who is engaging with the American people on a regular basis. I don't know what more they're asking for, but I've been in meetings with him time after time. His performance tells me he's up to the job and does it well.
Engaged? Engaged. Maybe the definition here is different. Remember, we talk about words being important on this program. Engage would be like taking actual questions instead of sitting there drooling a little bit with a little smile on your face as reporters beg for you to answer any question. It's been almost 100 days since there's been a formal news conference. Don't expect one anytime soon. And tell me if you get deja vu, because here's CNN and another notorious left-wing news hack, Dana Bash. Listen.
The fact is that many Democrats worry about his age. Even the New York Times editorial board, which is not exactly a bastion of conservatism, this weekend wrote that candidates shouldn't pretend, as Mr. Biden often does, that advanced age isn't an issue. These are concerns that are not going away, and you know that. So how do you think President Biden could overcome that?
President Biden has such a strong record to run on. He has gotten this country through the pandemic. He has the backs of the American people.
President Biden has my support in Minnesota. Thank you, Senator. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Senator. It's pretty much the exact same question all the time, isn't it? What are you laughing at? It's pretty good stuff. It's like the media has gotten some talking points from somewhere. Gee, that's different. And it just keeps going on and on and on.